Welcome to the What is Stoicism podcast.
We all tend to get offended, or maybe the correct philosophical phrasing is to say that we tend to take offence, because the Stoics would argue that we don't feel anger and resentment on account of what other people do, but rather as a result of how we interpret those actions. We're not just getting offended, we're actively taking offence by making voluntary judgments about what has happened. How many times have you overanalyzed someone's throwaway comment or small action, making yourself feel more and more resentment towards that person, only to later discover that they had no bad intentions towards you whatsoever? And even if they did have bad intentions, they most likely did themselves more harm than you in the long run. As Roman emperor in the 2nd century AD, Marcus Aurelius was constantly dealing with wars, plagues, politics, and all the other social responsibilities that came with ruling an empire at that time. If ever there was someone who couldn't afford to let anger and resentment guide his actions, it was him. Luckily, Marcus's lifelong training in Stoic philosophy kept him on track. Practicing the cardinal virtue of justice, he was able to maintain a level of equanimity in turbulent times that he has been revered for ever since. Here are 10 specific guidelines Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of when feeling anger and resentment towards others for their actions. 1. We exist for each other. When offended by others, consider your relationship with the rest of humanity as a whole. You share a close bond with those around you. We all exist for the good of each other. 2. What sort of people are they? Think about how these people behave in other situations. What sort of people are they while eating, while sitting on their couches, and while doing all the other mundane tasks that make up daily life? Consider how their faulty principles leave them little choice in how they behave. 3. Are they right? If what they're doing or saying is right, there is no reason to complain. If what they're doing or saying is wrong, they must be acting out of ignorance. If they were knowingly doing wrong, then they wouldn't be offended when they are accused of acting unjustly themselves. As Socrates put it, no one ever deliberately denies the truth. 4. Have you ever done wrong? You're not so different from the people you resent. You have upset people in the past too. Even if you refrain from certain kinds of wrongs, you still have the capacity to commit them. 5. Are you sure they're doing wrong? People's motives aren't always what they seem. Many actions serve a further purpose. Generally speaking, a great deal of experience is needed before you can judge another's actions with certainty. 6. This too shall pass. When you're angry or feeling resentment, remember that human life is fleeting. We live in a mere moment, and we would be wise not to waste it by directing negative thoughts towards others. 7. People's actions don't trouble you. It is not people's actions that trouble us, because these lie in their own directing minds, but our judgments about them. Eliminate the judgment that they're insulting you, and the anger disappears too. How? By reflecting that you haven't really been harmed by their actions. 8. Your reaction is more harmful. We suffer more from getting angry and resentful about things than we do from the things themselves that are making us angry and resentful. 9. Kindness is the best response. Kindness is irresistible, as long as it's genuine and not feigned. What can even the most stubborn person do if you continue to be kind to them? With your heart free of resentment, gently make them mindful of their actions. Do this with affection and see how your anger is released. 10. Don't expect the impossible. To expect bad people not to do bad things is madness. To see bad people do bad things to others and expect them not to do the same to you is arrogance. Both are cases of desiring the impossible. Therefore, it is wise to prepare accordingly by considering the previous 9 points.